It reminds me of Justin Martyr in his Apology when he tries to argue that these pagan myths are somehow copying Jesus, which is absurd.
Extians passionately claim Jzeus has no parallels. Nothing is like the hanging human pincushion and his band of Hellenized Jews. Yet Justin Martyr, one of their earliest fathers from the 2nd century, well, him and Epiphanius thought it would be a good idea to use all the pagan religions that had similarities to Christianity to try to prove their own religion. Yeah, a couple of street corner apologists for their time. Both of these fine additions to the not at all embarrassing and cringy Extian history fail to take into account that these other pagan religions were around before the alcoholic who walked on water. And later generations would be smart enough to not buy their explanation that the devil copied Jzeus before he was born. So let's listen to what the Gnostic informant has researched on the topic.
It reminds me of Justin Martyr in his Apology when he tries to argue that these pagan myths are somehow copying Jesus, which is absurd. We see Christian apologetic games being played as early as Christianity is in existence.
Jesus took bread, and when he had given thanks, said, "This do in remembrance of me. This is my body." And that after the same manner, having taken the cup and given thanks, he said, "This is my blood," and gave it to them alone, which the wicked devils had imitated in the mysteries of Mithras, commanding the same thing to be done. The same thing. For that bread and a cup of water are placed with certain incantations in the mystic rites of one who is being initiated. Justin Martyr, Apology. The devils, accordingly, when they heard these prophetic words, said that Bacchus was the son of God, and gave out that he was the discoverer of the vine, and they number, and the donkey among his mysteries. And they taught that, having been torn in pieces, he ascended into heaven. Justin Martyr, Apology. And if we assert that the Logos of God was born of God in a peculiar manner, different from ordinary generation, let this, as said above, be no extraordinary thing to you, who say that Mercury is the angelic Logos of God. Justin Martyr, Apology. And if we even affirm that he was born of a virgin, accept this in common with what you accept of Perseus. And in that, we say that he made whole the lame, the paralytic, and those born blind. We seem to say what is very similar to the deeds said to have been done by Asclepius. Justin Martyr, Apology.
Justin Martyr really sums it up with this passage right here.
And when we say also that the Logos, who is the firstborn of God, was produced without sexual union, and that he, Jesus Christ, our teacher, was crucified and died, and rose again, and ascended into heaven, we propound nothing different from what you believe regarding those whom you esteem sons of Jupiter. For you know how many sons your esteemed writers ascribe to Jupiter. Mercury, the interpreting word and teacher of all. Asclepius, who though he was a great physician, was struck by a thunderbolt and so ascended to heaven. And Bacchus too, after he had been torn limb from limb. And Hercules, when he had committed himself to the flames to escape his toils. And the sons of Leda and Dioscuri, and Perseus, son of Danae, and Bellerophon, who though sprung from mortals rose to heaven on the horse Pegasus. For what shall I say of Ariadne, and those who like her have been declared to be set among the stars? And what of the emperors who die among yourselves, whom you deem worthy of deification, and in whose behalf you produce someone who swears he has seen the burning Caesar rise to heaven from the funeral pyre? Justin Martyr, Apology.
Both Justin Martyr and Epiphanius have no choice but to attempt to argue that Christianity somehow is original and the pagan gods are impostors of Christ. They have to do this because these gods are so close to Jesus and their rites are being done in similar fashion that it forces them into a corner of needing to argue that devils plan these rites in order to fool people.
So the next time one of those history-illiterate walking tithe baskets tells you how original JJ is, just direct them to Justin Martyr's first apology. If they still don't get it, well, just give them this meme. If you hate idolatry, like and subscribe. If you are an idolater, go read Isaiah 43 and leave a nasty comment below that would make the likes of Sam Shamoon proud while making your holy goat cry at the same time. Shalom.